Yo, it's good. We had some technical difficulties, so like streamed for a minute before cutting out for some reason. What's going on? What's up, Ian Womack? How's it going, everyone? I'm gonna wait a little bit, try to get some more people in here. How's it going? How's it going? How's everyone doing today? Could adult go and beat Merwin? Yeah. How has your day been? It's been alright. Lilo said he thinks the Zodiacs would handle the Chimera ants via that one statement from the Monkey Zodiac. You gotta be more specific. Like, he thinks that they would beat Merwin? Or, like, thinks he would beat the Royals? Just Merwin? He thinks the Zodiacs would be able to beat Merwin? It's probably not true. That wasn't even stated. Well, we Royal Guards? Probably not. Being stronger than Morel isn't enough to be Royal Guard level, especially all three of them. Not close, really. I can get why he did that impression, though. Yeah, it was stated by Kanzai, not Sayu. They were stronger than Morel, not stronger than the Royals. Could Zodiac beat Hisoka? Some of them could. I low-key might have like a video on that, kind of, soon, maybe. Thumbnail funny as hell. It's just the net impact, like, thing. How's my audio, chat? Audio sounding good? Comparison, he'll be one of the top tiers of Hunter x Hunterverse? Probably not. Pariston is a lot weaker than Jing. Chrollo eases survival against the Zoldyx is one of Togashi's only and worst narrative mistakes. I don't know how that's a narrative mistake. Didn't Jing say he would wreck Pariston and the hierarchy isn't based on strength? Correct. Audio sounds like garbage. Oh, you're listening through your own mic. Friend says your audio sounds like garbage. Oh, friend said that. Just sort of asking you questions, or is there a subject? Yeah, so there is going to be a subject for the stream. I'm going to explain it in a sec. We're going to be, I'll explain it a little bit, but feel free to just keep asking questions for now. I'm just trying to add more people to the stream and wait for some more people to get in. So, yeah, just keep asking questions. Do you think Jing has some narrative implications of being stronger than Netero? Definitely not. He might eventually, but right now, no. Jing could have been talking smack to Pariston? Probably not. Could Prime Netero beat Meruem? No, he could not. Looking at the other non-Zodiac members of the gang and hearing Pariston was #1, he immediately was like, oh, so it isn't based on strength? Yeah. He has no reason to lie. Because simply making fun of him doesn't really make Pariston mad. Probably just thinks Pariston is weak. Prime Netero was getting folded, yeah. Prime Netero isn't even that much stronger than Netero that fought Meruem. People exaggerate Netero's statement. A lot. Have you seen Sadari's video on One Punch Man Planet Busters? No, I haven't seen that one. I've heard him like bring up some of the arguments before, but I have a few issues with the argument as a whole, but I haven't seen the actual video. Killua keeps up his rapid growth like he did from Heaven's Arena up to the current arc. You think he could be Hisoka Chrollo level in another 2 years, or to take more? Sounds about, sure. I think that's a relatively reasonable time scale. How does Tompa scale? He's like, he would be an Olympian in real life. He'd literally be like a peak athlete. Isn't Netero just half his prime? Not really. That was before he started training. He started training to like get back in shape. Why? It's why Platinum S is definitely multi-continental. What? Oh no. No, 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 no. No. You can't just backscale like that. It doesn't work the way you think. I understand that the argument is basically backscaling, and it just doesn't work like that. I want to see Pariston's powers. He's very mysterious and cunning, and I just feel like he's at least as strong as Hisoka. He's probably my favorite of all the Zodiacs. He is very interesting. I am curious to see what exactly his powers are. Ugh. Can anyone at Hunter x Hunter beat 20 Finger Sukuna without a domain? It depends on your interpretation of a Sukuna's AP, but Meruem could do it. We know Netero states that it's been years since he was the strongest hunter, so that means there are hunters that are stronger than him. It's possible, but we don't know who they are. It's nobody we've met is stronger than him. I'll tell you that. Or you know, actually, to be fair, he could be like extremely rusty. To like, no. Generally, like, no one is stronger than him that we know. Why not? He fights them immediately because he doesn't really scale to Sage Centipede in the way that you think he does. And also, he just one-shot Platinum S. You can't prove that Platinum S scales to that version of Garo. Shadow Beast beat Post-Read Island Gon and Killua? No, yeah, they do. I'm almost done sharing around the stream, and then we can get into it. Hey, I mean, calling Sukuna Mountain level is like, whatever. Platinum S didn't even hurt Garo. That didn't have a resonance boost, and had God's-like Fist, meaning meanwhile Sage Centipede does have that. Yeah, Sage was a lot stronger than Garo when they first started fighting. Sukuna's Furnace is only multi-city block? No, dude. He is probably at least like large town level bare minimum. Although I'd have to investigate thoroughly to get a better answer. Real question, could Meruem have stopped Sukuna in the Shibuya incident? Nah, he still loses to Domain. If you assume that they've got pretty relative AP. How would Meruem beat Sukuna taking into account RCT? Just blow him up completely or destroy his head. Something he does in character. What's up, Joey? What's up, Joey? Yo, Joey, so when's the Breaking Bad video gonna be done? So you think Prime Netero and Palace Invasion Hunter Netero are around the same strength? Not exactly equal, but Prime Netero isn't that much stronger. I mean, actually, if I'm being dead ass, if I'm being for real, I don't think you can prove that Prime Netero is stronger once he gets back in shape. It's low-key impossible. He did hurt Garo. Garo had to grow stronger, especially as Plat was holding back at the start of the fight. Sage is small plant level. Garo was able to damage Sage a bit. Sage, not every millimeter of Sage. For one, he didn't two-shot Plat. Plat literally got up and was unfazed, and then Garo blew him up with one move. And then Sage isn't small planet level in the not every single millimeter of his body is small planet level. Takes him using his entire body to be that strong. So Garo wouldn't really scale to it just by cracking a small chunk. The final blow that defeated him. Nah, dude, this isn't Rocky, man. Plat got up, screamed Garo's name, flexed his muscles harder than he ever did before. And then Garo blew him up. You just cannot prove that he scales to Garo. Okay, chat. It's time to lock in. It's time to lock in. So, I have debated y'all a little bit. So, what we're going to be talking about is we're just going to be doing oh, hold on. Let me make sure I didn't do this wrong. This is fine. Didn't Netero say he's less than half as strong? Yeah, but he didn't. Netero started training after he stated that. So Netero actually gets stronger after that point. It's not the same power level the whole time. Chat, is Zeno a fraud? Yes. Facts. Botopai versus Jing. I'm pretty sure that the statement about Botopai being close to Netero is a mistranslation, but if it's not, then then Botopai would win. Why the Zeno slander? Because he gets glazed a lot. Okay, anyway. What we're doing today is we're doing let me pull it up. We're doing one of these bracket things for Hunter x Hunter. We're not literally deciding who the strongest is. So I know this bracket does not have Royal Guards, doesn't have Adult Gon, and it doesn't have Netero. To be a little more fair, I think, because otherwise it's just obvious. So we're gonna be doing this and answering questions. Does anyone have any questions regarding what we're doing? Alright, I think everyone understands. Is this matchup based or yeah, it's matchup based. Like who wins the fight? Not who's quote unquote stronger. Like, who wins the fight? So like Saridnik hasn't done anything. I'll like pause on the controversial ones, but I might like speed blitz the easy ones. But like, I think everyone knows that Saridnik is feetless. What are y'all yapping about in chat? Knuckle, yeah. Gon versus Snake. What an intense battle. Alright, Gon wins. By the way, chat, I don't know if I mentioned, but if we get 10 $5 donations today, then I'll upload another video this Saturday. If we get $50 in donations. So y'all are able to donate. I'll also answer questions more in depth for donos. So yeah. Shaw versus Owl. This one's weird. Owl is definitely physically stronger. So what if someone just donates 50? That would be nice. But for some reason, the way the goals work on YouTube are okay. If someone donates 50, I'll still upload the video. Yeah. If someone just donates $50, we ball. The goal is just to hit $50. I'll upload another video on Saturday. If we hit 100, I'll upload 2 videos. Actually, if we hit 150, I can't kill my. I won't have any videos for like the next month if I do that. We hit $50. We get a video on Saturday. We hit 150. I'll upload 2 videos back to back, and they'll be fire videos too, not just filler. Shaw couldn't even pierce a peon. That is true. But Shaw can always use autopilot. He was also kind of like keeping up with Gon a little bit. Owl might have that. Owl can also fly. Shaw can't do nothing about that. I think Owl got that. Owl might just cook. Shaw could go autopilot, stab him through the eye. I don't think he can use the needle when he's in autopilot. Kind of defeats the purpose of autopilot. Yeah, Owl can fly. Autopilot is also weird because its only feat is beating up another feetless ant. So I don't even know if autopilot would beat Owl. Piano was a bit of an outlier. It had genetic armor. All the Chimera ants have armor. Ginta would beat Gorilla. Paku versus Kortopi. Paku's got a gun. GG. If this will ever load. Okay, Chrollo versus Blaster. Chrollo versus Blaster. Yeah, I mean, Chrollo got that. Vogan versus Pike. Oh, I wonder. Vogan. I think the first round matchups are going to be pretty simple. Oh, this one was weird. Battle of the mid-offs. Battle of mid. Who wins the mid-off, guys? Maha or Yunju? Yo, like, I get why y'all are saying Maha, but why are we saying Maha? Maha, like, fought Netero at some point in the past, but he's old as dirt now. Bro's old. Bro's ancient. Maha was relative to Prime Netero bare minimum. No, but he's also old now. I'm giving it to Yunju. I'm not assuming that this old man is just beating a squadron leader Chimera Ant like that. Ain't no way. Yeah, but Netero showed the feats. Netero actually have the feats. Maha doesn't. Huh? Untouchable? That's not what it means. That has nothing to do with strength. Got nothing to do with strength. If my computer will just work, I might actually be able to click. Okay. What the hell is happening now? Beyond versus Feitan. Alright, hold on. What is going on? What's going on with my computer right now? Beyond has no feats, yet he stomps. Might be facts. Look, chat. Feitan better feats-wise. That's true. That's true. Feitan slams unless he beyond all over his Netero. Look, I'm gonna give it to Feitan. I'm gonna give it to Feitan. But, like, low key, Beyond got that, but he is feetless. So, I'm gonna give it to Feitan. Oh boy. Does anyone here think Finks wins? Does anyone here think Finks wins this? Yo, Tom Holland just dropped 50,000 something. What on earth is that? Wait, what's your opinion on grilled cheese sandwiches for real? Yo, I'm gonna be for real. I'm gonna be for real with you, Tom Holland, for the 50 whatever that is. I'm not particularly fond of grilled cheese. I'm not a fan. Holland, my bad. I'm not particularly a fan. Grilled cheese. That turns into $2.11. That's crazy. I still appreciate it. Thank you very much, Holland. Yeah, no. I've never been too big on cheese ever since I was younger. I don't mind like mozzarella cheese, but I don't really vibe with cheddar. Never been into cheddar like that. All right, we all agree Silva wins, right? What up, Joey? Zeno over Chrollo, ew. Vietnamese dong. I got 50,000 dong, bro. That's crazy. $50,000 dong. Thank you, Tom Holland, for the 50,000 dong. Finks is the Batman of Hunter x Hunter. Oh, it's doing that. Oh, yo, wait, what happened? Oh, hold up, wait. It glitched out, and it skipped over Kite versus Mizaistom. Chat, what do we think about Kite versus Mizaistom? Mizaistom is supposedly above Morel. He's supposedly above Morel. I'm gonna let y'all think about that for a second, and I'll be right back. I'm gonna let y'all think about that for a second. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back, chat. For 69,000 dong, can I do Astafolo versus Hatsume Miku in Reimaru Hakure? Next, someone needs to know if he could survive his own wives. I don't know what any of those characters are, but I appreciate it. Bro, it took Pito a night to kill Kite with one arm. I don't think you can prove it took all night. Alright, because look, the way I'm thinking about it is that I think Morel is above Kite generally. But All right, because look. If Mizaistom as a general combatant is above Morel, then he can kind of paralyze Kite and make his ability kind of pointless. Morel above Kite, why? Better feats against squadron leaders. Actually, okay, look, let's ignore Morel versus Kite conceptually. Let's think about it like they're the same tier combatant in terms of speed, at least. And Kite isn't really like a genius. And so it's like, I think Mizaistom would probably be able to paralyze him or something, you know? Let's keep it with Mizai for now. And we'll get back to the matches. Yeah, but that squadron leader had no Nen. I'm gonna keep it Mizai for now. This fight happened. Illumi. Sayu has a little bit more going for him. We know his ability at least. And they're both like combat members of the Zodiacs, so I would shoot for Sayu. Zazan versus Bat. Zazan got that. Squadron leader beats not squadron leader. Franklin versus Kaluto. Franklin is kind of a fraud, but I think if I'm being for real, I'd give it to him. What do y'all think, chat? Franklin easily. Frank. Frank dub. Yeah. All right, everyone thinks Franklin wins. Any reason his bullets couldn't pierce paper? Well, it's strong paper, to be fair. Knuckle versus Chimera and Arcone. This fight happened. Al versus Ginta. Ginta got that. Chrollo got that. Uvo got that. Oh, okay. This one's interesting. Chat, what do we think about Feitan versus Silva? I think Silva got that. I don't think Silva's gonna stand around and let Rising Sun happen. Hisoka versus Mizaistom. This was weird. Silva Wank is crazy? Where's the Silva Wank? Hisoka. Everyone agrees Hisoka. I think Mizai. Hisoka. Illumi versus Sayu. It's kind of like the last match, but Feitan definitely washes Silva with Pain Packer if he uses it, maybe, possibly. This one's weird, but Sayu's a little feetless compared to like Illumi. Hisoka thinks that Illumi stronger than other Zodiacs. I don't think you can prove that Sayu's that much stronger than the other Zodiacs. I think Illumi got that. Zazan. Okay. Zazan versus Franklin. This one's weird. What do we all think of this? What do we all think of Zazan versus Franklin? We all agree Zazan? Ever thought about doing is Feitan overrated video? Not specifically Feitan. I thought about doing a video on the whole Phantom Troop being overrated. Yeah, alright. Zazan, Franklin probably doesn't have the AP. Definitely doesn't have the skill. Knuckle versus Ginta. I put Mizai over Kite because he's a Zodiac. But in fairness, we don't know Ginta's ability. Nah, I'm sure Ginta probably got something to pack Knuckle up. Let's give it to Knuckle. Ginta. Chrollo versus Uvo. Chrollo got that. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yo, please, someone tell me why Silva wins this. Someone please try to convince me. Please, someone convince me that Silva wins this. Because I'm damn near certain Hisoka's slamming. The Ginta wank is real. So has so much aura, so he wins. Nah. So one shot and blitzes G2. Nah, he wouldn't blitz G2. Silva wins 5 times. Hisoka wins 5 times. I would say like Hisoka wins 7 or 8 times, and Silva wins like 2 or 3 times. Hisoka might be top 5 in verse. Oh, he's not. He's not. He's strong, but he's not. Alright, yeah. We all agree Hisoka got that. Illumi versus Zazan. Oh, yeah, this one's weird. What do we think of Illumi versus Zazan, chat? What do we think of Illumi versus Zazan? Zazan, bad matchup. Illumi. Because, like, look, the thing about Illumi is, like, even though we know he's strong, we don't know why he's strong. We don't know what about him is strong. Like, what if Illumi's just really fast and, like, really good with his needles, but he doesn't have good AP? Y'all still voting Illumi? I mean, I think Illumi wins too. I'm just saying. Kite versus Chrollo. Chrollo got that. Hisoka versus Illumi. We're all voting Hisoka, right? We're all voting for Hisoka? Yeah, alright. Hisoka said he can kill Illumi, so probably true. Oh boy. Man. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. I kind of want to do a video on this topic, but I obviously have to answer it right now. Alright, chat, look. I'm just going to put it on the table. I'm going to lay it on the table. I think Hisoka beats... Chrollo. Alright. Can someone convince me otherwise? Can someone convince me otherwise that Hisoka wouldn't beat Chrollo? Hisoka got a buff after his revival. Hisoka wins no prep. Yep. This is without prep, obviously. Chrollo beat him. Yeah, he beat him with prep. Chrollo could match Zeno and Silva at once. Alright. So would Hisoka. Personally, I think Illumi, Hisoka, and Chrollo are on the same level. They are in the same tier. I just think Hisoka's the strongest one in that tier. What up, D-Cyber? Nice to see you. How are you doing? Chrollo has less weaknesses? Maybe, but Hisoka's just stronger, smarter. I mean, to be honest, that's all that really matters here. Hisoka above Illumi. Illumi above Chrollo? No, that's not true. That is definitely not true. Hisoka lost because he's arrogant. He also wasn't expecting... He was not expecting to get prep jumped the way he did. Hisoka wins mid-high diff, true. Yo, come on. Someone please. Someone can convince me to say Chrollo wins. Hisoka's... Yeah, Hisoka is smarter than Chrollo. Wait, does Illumi relative to Hisoka mean Illumi over Silva? It can. It doesn't have to be, though. Not expecting foul play is a flaw. Not in a fight with no foul play. What do you mean? How strong do you rank Pain, Packer, Feitan, his armor? I just think that the armor is like heat resistance. I don't think it like tanked the sun. Why isn't Emperor Time Kurapika on this at all? He is. He's just on the other side of the list. For some reason, bracket fights has you do one side and then do the other side. It's a fight to the death, no eye gouging, but no, dude. It's not what I mean. Like, no prep. This is no prep. They both teleport into a room with no prep. That's what I mean by no foul play. Hisoka can also stab Chrollo in the eyes. Check your DM on Discord. Also stop lowballing Dragon Ball. Thank you for the money again, Holland. I will check my DM on Discord later. I don't know what you mean by stop lowballing Dragon Ball, though. I'm going to give the Chrollo fans 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes to get me to change my mind. Yeah, I don't know how I lowball Dragon Ball. I think I rate Dragon Ball fairly appropriately in most of my videos. I don't think there are any Chrollo fanboys here. I'm gonna give him a few more minutes. I'm not gonna wait 5 more minutes, it's too long. Oh, hold on, here's the Chrollo fan. I think you're missing my point. The eye gouging. You can't agree to a fight to the death of the leader of the most dangerous criminals and not expect foul play. Okay, but the fight is without prep. Like right now, this matchup, the one on the screen, the one we're talking about, is no prep. So why does that matter? Why does him not expecting to get prep jumped then mean he loses now? Because he's not going to get prep jumped this time. I see no way Chrollo gets dropped into arena with Hisoka and comes out alive without prep. Chrollo only wins with prep time, otherwise Hisoka wins. Even with prep time, Hisoka almost beat him? That's not true. That is not true at all. He didn't almost beat him. What's to say Chrollo couldn't have won even without prep, but with more risk? Chrollo can definitely win. It's just that Hisoka's stronger. He's better in hand-to-hand. And he's smarter. So I think Hisoka wins. Chrollo bends knife one shot? Probably not. Hisoka probably got that hand-to-hand. Not a Chrollo fan. He's just naive is what I think. Exploitable? Yeah, but like in this case that wouldn't apply. Like we're not including characters with prep time. We're just rating the characters on their own merit. Like pick them up, put them both in a room, make them fight. Does that mean Hisoka cooks Zeno and Silva? I don't think he'd cook them 2-on-1. But I think he'd beat them 1-on-1 each. Definitely beat them. For sure. If Chrollo uses autopilot, he slams. Not necessarily. We don't even know if he has autopilot. Might only have black voice. Alright, chat. Hisoka got that. Okay, now we're on to the other side. These are all new matchups now. We've got like the whole other half of the bracket we get to talk about. Okay. Didn't you say Chrollo was smarter earlier? No. No. Botobai got that. What up, Sel? Yeah, you do gotta read Hunter x Hunter. It's good. Good manga. Alright, yeah. Botobai probably got that. She did go one-on-one against the Royal God for a while. He went one-on-one for literally 10 seconds, though. To be fair. Hanzo versus Canary? Yo, chat. I think Canary got that. Actually, no, I take that back. Hanzo got that. Hanzo probably got that. Got an N now. Hanzo got that. Base Bisky versus Genthru. The bomber. Genthru got that. Base Bisky sucks. Ramot versus... Wait, why are we saying Bisky? Why are people saying Bisky in the chat? Chat, why are we saying Bisky? Hold on. Why are we saying Bisky? What is base Bisky doing to Genthru? Can chat name a base Bisky feat? How does Bisky in base beating Genthru? Giving him hands. Her hands couldn't even beat Genthru's goon. Yo, look, you do remember that Genthru's friend punched Bisky in the face and she just collapsed. She had to transform. She's simply better at fighting than Genthru. Why does that matter? What is Genthru's win con? Beat her up! No, it's base because I'm pretty sure True Form Bisky's on the list. Hold on. I swear I saw her earlier. Yeah, okay, nah. Bisky's full power's on the list later. There's 2 different Biskys on here. Yo, Cell, quit rage baiting. Yo, chat, please name a single feat from base Bisky. Didn't she say she let his goon hit her? Yeah, by being in base form. Alright, Rama wins. Rama wins? Yeah, alright. It's true. Lael versus Chitu. Lael probably got that. I'm pretty sure in the anime Morel said he's stronger. Welfin versus Machi. Welfin versus Machi. Machi on Aura. That's all she has. Sadly. Base Bisky feat is beating up Bino and Gon and Killua. Okay. So she beat up Gon and Killua at the start of Greed Island? You don't think Genthru would do that? You don't think Genthru could beat up Binolt? I'm inclined to go with Welfin myself. I'm inclined to go with Welfin. He is a squadron leader. He's a squadron leader. Shouldn't be like that different than base Zazan. He was trained by Proof and Pito on how to use Nen. Alright. Look. I'm gonna go with Machi for y'all, just because I think it's gonna be more interesting that way. But like, look, those of y'all saying Welfin is feeless, yeah, Welfin's a squadron leader. Welfin's a squadron leader, Chimera Ant. I'm gonna give it to Machi, but like, look, they're both feetless. They're both feeless, and Machi got better aura, I guess. But Welfin has better stocks. He's a squadron leader. Oh, everyone's changing to Welfin. Oh, Welfin's trash. We're gonna go Machi. Morel versus Palm. Chad, we all think Morel wins. We all think Morel got that right. Morel. Prof, your newest video confused me. Do you think Platt uses full power on Flash? Not literally not like his full power, but like close to his full power. I don't think he was holding back a quintillion times. I just think he was like, but I definitely think he was using more power than he did as Golden S. Oh, people actually think it's Ant Palm. It's Chimera Ant Palm. It's not normal Palm. Wait, why are we saying Palm wins? I'm kind of curious. Have I finally made up my mind on plat scaling? Pretty much. Palm underrated. Morel wins. It's def high diff for me, Palm. Ian Womack, Kite versus Feitan, probably Kite. Ant Palm durability is insane. He could suffocate her or restrain her with his chains. Trap her. Palm had Killua shook and was giving him hands. He couldn't get past her hair armor. You think that Killua is stronger than Morel? Oh, I know the Plat versus Orochi meta. It just sucks. Also, isn't she stated to be on a squadron leader level? She's like a super ant soldier. No, that's not stated, but she definitely is. She is a squadron leader level, but Morel just beats squadron leaders. You think base Killua would beat Morel? What? Palm has no way of dealing with Morel's abilities, pretty much. She's a brick. She's just a brick. Morel is better feats than Palm. Rope smoke, that is. Yeah. Base killable Morel over Morel is insane. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, we're going Morel here. Oh, I guess there was no one to go against Kurapika. So Kurapika just moved on. We'll talk about Kurapika later, I guess, in the next match. But Kurapika's here. He just moved on to the next one. Razor, yeah, okay, Razor wins. Pariston versus Zeno. Chat, please. All right, yeah, chat. We all agree Zeno wins this, right? We all agree Zeno wins this. Pariston feetless. Feetless Pariston. Pariston unironically. Why are we saying Pariston? I gotta know why we're saying Pariston, chat. Why are we talking about Hunter x Hunter when we can talk about Iron Man 1 and 2? Yo, for like a big dono, I could change the topic of the stream to Iron Man. Yeah, I think most people agree Zeno wins. I wish he does. Nov versus Chimera and Arc Killua. Chimera and Arc Killua got that right, chat. Pariston at his best outside a combat situation. Say we drop these combatants in a room. Only one leaves? Yeah, pretty much. Kilo got Godspeed. Just beating up Nove with that. Paralyzing him with Thunderbolt. Nay-naying on him hand to hand. Kilo got that. Gyro versus Boki. Probably Boki. Chimera Ant. Garenu versus Shizuku. The way Gon was dismissed against Knuckle earlier is another topic of discussion, but it's fine. That fight happened. Gon lost. Like 30 times. Yeah, mid off. Battle of the mid. Shizuku got that. Bisky's probably beating Paku. Okay. This is interesting. Bono versus Nobunaga. This was gone before he went to NGL. Not the gun that was about to one-shot Morel. Yeah, but that's going with a Rage Amp. I think Rage Amp going might be on here. Oh, he's not? Okay, no. That's going with Rage Amps, though. Which he wouldn't really be in that state of mind against Knuckle. But I'm going to talk about that going in the future, in a future video. Bono has Jupiter. Jupiter might just blow Nobunaga up. Stated to be the most competent fighter in the troop. That only really refers to combat skill. Nobu one-shots before Bono finishes his dance. That's possible. It's like the battle of who gets to the other first. It is interesting. Weirdly close in that sense. I think Bono's for sure more powerful. But Nobunaga might be the answer. Chimera Ant Arc Gon can't be the same Gon that fought Knuckle because we gave Chimera Ant Killua Godspeed when he didn't have it. What? No. Gon, outside of Rage Amps, Gon didn't really get stronger after fighting Knuckle. That's what I mean. Killua did. Gon didn't. This one's weird. I'm gonna let chat decide. Hold up. How do I add a poll? I'm gonna add a poll, chat, because I don't know what to say here. Alright, chat, here. I'm not gonna add a poll. Okay. Anyone that thinks Goto wins, type 1. Anyone that thinks Tsubone wins, type 2. Type 1 for Goto, 2 for Tsubone. Do that, and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Alright. 1 2 2 2 1 2 1 2 2 1 2 2 1 2 2 1 1 2 2. A lot of people are voting Subone. I think more people voted Subone. Bodobai versus Hanzo. Bodobai. Genthru versus Ramot is interesting. Ramot's actually probably physically stronger. Ramot easily. Ramot, yeah. I think Ramot might just be too powerful. As much as I hate to say it. Lael versus Machi? Lael is dog walking her. Lael is sliming her out. Ooh boy. Ooh boy. Morel versus Emperor Time Kurapika. Why is everyone dang? Oh, why is no one cutting Morel some slack? Why is everyone saying Kurapika? Why are people saying Kurapika wins easily? Kurapika was able to beat Uvo? Yeah, because of Chain Jail. Yo, wait. What is Kurapika doing to Morel without Chain Jail, chat? Better stats? Morel isn't a stat merchant. Morel fights people with better stats. Way better stats. I don't know if you can prove that. Trying to think. I don't know if Kurapika's so much stronger that he just like face tanks or like just walks through all his smoke abilities. Can steal abilities? But we don't know how fast his other chains are. He was able to keep up with Uvo without Chain Jail. He kept up with 50% Uvogen. If Kurapika got in a fist fight with full power Uvogen, he would just die. He can take that ability away from Morel if he wanted to. I dare you to prove. Look, hold on, chat. Wait. Chat. Hold on. Chat. Oh, Kurapika was able to go toe-to-toe with Uvogen, has likely gotten way stronger and more skilled because of getting his clan's eyes. That would not... Why would that make him stronger? He's not Donzo. What can Morel do against Kurapika? All the same things he can do before. He has smoke that can no-sell fucking squadron leader attacks. He can really swing that chain and knock the pipe out of his hands. Maybe. I don't think the chains are like that powerful. Kurapika has Steel Chain and Judgment Chain though. Look, chat. Here's the problem with Steel Chain and Judgment Chain. Why didn't Kurapika just put Uvogen in Judgment Chain instantly? It probably isn't as combat applicable it's probably not as combat applicable as you're making it out to be. He probably can't just whip it out instantly. Otherwise, why doesn't he just do that all the time? Look, look. I'm willing to give it to Kurapika anyway. But like, calm down. Didn't Kurapika get stronger after York New Arc? No, you can't prove that. Zeno versus Razor. Zeno dog walks. Okay, maybe Zeno doesn't dog walk, but Zeno wins. People are saying Razor. Why are we saying Razor smokes? Rob, do you think Razor fully scales to Hisoka's strength? No. No, I don't. Especially because we voted Ramot to be trash. Hisoka's probably holding back. Razor being dodged by Gon is a really bad feat. Yeah, kind of is. Zeno got that. Chimera and Archilo versus Boki. Killua. Shizuku versus Biscuit. Biscuit got that. Nobunaga versus Tsubone. I don't think Nobunaga's like. I don't think Nobunaga can do to base Killua what Tsubone's implied to be able to do. Nobu zero diff? Huh? Yo, Nobunaga's not folding base Killua. Let's make that very clear. He might get crazy feats soon, but not yet. We can't, we gotta be mindful of the present. Spuna got that. Bodobai versus Ramot. Bodobai. Leo versus Kurapika. Probably Kurapika. I think, look, I'm all for like calling Kurapika strong, but I think chat's glazing Kurapika. Zeno versus Killua. Zeno got that. I think the next one is oh, we still got Bisky versus Tsubone. They're both stronger than base Killua. This is weird. This is another mid-off. This is another mid-off, chat. Everyone's saying Bisky. I can let Bisky slide. I can give it to Bisky. I, 'cause, 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 ' Bono Baya versus Kurapika. Probably Kurapika. If we're going with like this interpretation. No, bless. Ah. Zeno versus True Form Bisky. Zeno destroys. Oh, people are saying Bodabai? Why are we saying Bodabai? Yo, why are we saying Bisky? Oh, what? Why are we saying Bisky? Chat, do we have a Bisky feat? Yeah, Zeno destroys is crazy? No, it ain't. Zeno folds her. Bisky is not strong. Bisky has no good feats. Top tier data book and stats? Not really. That stuff gets misinterpreted. It's not as impressive as you think. She's above Killua though, being able to beat him in training. Yeah, but like that's not that impressive. Is what I mean. Like it's beating him in training in a sparring match before he has Godspeed. Yeah, Zeno got that. Okay, Chad. Zeno wins here, right? We agree Zeno wins this. We're done with like overrating Kurapika. I don't look. I'll be honest. I do think Kurapika is physically stronger than Zeno, but I don't know if it's enough to close the skill difference. Yeah, in fact, I just don't think it is. I think Zeno got that. I think Hisoka got that. Explain to why Zeno above Kurapika. Smarter, has like long range Tatsu to like negate Kurapika's strength advantage. Gotta donate later for some matchup? You should... Zeno's able to read Chrollo's strategy by his body language alone. So he's probably a little smarter. D-Cyber, you might want to donate sooner rather than later. Whoa. You might want to donate sooner rather than later because I'm going to try to wrap it up in the next 10 minutes. But like, you can feel free to ask questions and I'll answer. When did Kurapika become physically above Zeno? Kurapika's able to swap hands with 50% Uvogin and overwhelm him. Uvogin at 50% or at 20% is probably already above Chrollo, and Chrollo is above Zeno physically. So it goes Zeno, Chrollo, then Kurapika above Chrollo. Or Zeno, Chrollo, 20% Uvogin, 50% Uvogin, Kurapika. The scale. We be covering Dandadan at all? Nah, probably not. So are you saying that when it comes to physicals, Morel above Kurapika over Zeno? No, I never said Morel was above Kurapika. That's not what I said. I said I'm not sure if Kurapika's stats are enough to just win against Morel. Here's the thing, Uvogin himself probably beats Kurapika without chain jail. Yeah, he does. Exactly, to be honest. You plan on making videos on the MCU? I've got an MCU video coming out soon. And if it does good, then I will make more. I did Boros versus the Avengers as like a baby step into the verse. And if it does good, then I'll make more MCU videos. But if it doesn't, then I'm never doing it ever again. Actually, I'm also working on Master Chief versus Captain America. D-Cyber in here with $5. Dry's Deep Sea King versus Phantom Troop. Battle takes place in a city at a random encounter. First of all, thank you for the 5. Much appreciated as always. Deep Sea King kind of annihilates. Dole says, let me hop in. Nah, because we're going to be done in like 5-10 minutes. So, yeah, Deep Sea King is probably just too fast. Deep Sea King was able to blitz Lightning Max, who is like stated to be as fast as Lightning 5 times. Nobody in the Phantom Troop is as fast as Lightning. Deep Sea King can punch away like small chunks of mountains. He's like large town, possibly city level. He's like almost just, he's probably like Yuppie level, to be honest, in terms of power. Yeah, just not a good look for the troop there. I'll be right back, chat. I'm gonna be right back. I'm just gonna go take something out of the freezer real quick, and then we are gonna start wrapping things up so you guys can get those last minute questions in. Thank you again for the 5, D-Cyber. Yeah, the bracket's done. Let me see if I can pull up the whole thing. But I'll be right back to do that. Alright, chat, I'm back. It's not letting me pull up the full thing. Kurapika has no business losing to Zeno. Why are we glazing? Should I donate more for other matchups? You can. If y'all just like put a matchup in the chat, I'm just gonna give like I'll still answer it, but for donos, I can like go a little bit more in depth. Yeah, but why are we glazing Kurapika so much? Like, why are we acting like he can just beat top tiers? Then I want you to imagine Silva and Kurapika fighting Chrollo at once. Then think how many seconds it would take for Chrollo to just be dead. What? Guys, let's take Zeno out and put in a character that has the perfect ability to counter Chrollo. Like, what? Kurapika has Chain Jail. Of course that's going to work on Chrollo, but it doesn't work on Zeno. Netero versus Deep Seeking? I want to say Deep Seeking is probably too fast. How strong would you be in Hunter x Hunter? I'd clap everyone. Tompa versus Mr. Satan? Probably Mr. Satan. Phantom Troop versus Death Gatling Squad. Probably Phantom Troop. What do you think about Hisoka's point system? And especially how high Illumi scored on it? I think it just rates an opponent's overall combat ability. Kurapika taking 25%. Big Bang Impact. It was 20%, but okay. 0 damage taken. In Emperor Time, I see not how most of the verse damages him in a raw AP. For one, you cannot prove that Zeno was below 20% Big Bang Impact in terms of his Dragon Dive and stuff. But also, like, via your same token, you just think Uvogan solos. Uvogan's just a better version of Kurapika outside of it when he's not fighting a hunter, when he's not fighting a troop member. But he's stated to be inferior to Chrollo, obviously. So clearly, even if you're as strong as Uvogan, you don't just solo everyone. And Kurapika is weaker than Uvogan. Mr. Satan versus No Nengon. Bro, I think Mr. Satan, like, perception blitzed norm. Maybe Gon? Yeah, I guess Gon. Chrollo literally said, without hacks, nobody's beating Uvogan. He said Uvogan will lose to Conjurers and Manipulators, but that's it. Yeah, without basically, like, confronting him in terms of raw power, you lose. That's what I'm saying. But and Kurapika's just a worse version of that. Chat, we are going to wrap things up within the next minute here. If anyone wants to get in some last minute questions or donations. D-Cyber with the 2. Narika Private Squad versus Phantom Troop. For the 1, thank you for the 2. Let me think about that. Private Squad did like something to the swordsman. So probably them. Anyone has any... Yeah, I think Narika's Private Squad wins just due to, like, having any feat against the swordsman. Hikari versus Uvogan. Hikari, I think. Alright, chat. If anyone has any more last minute donos, that would be cool. Uvogan versus a tiger level monster? Uvogan. I mean, it depends on the monster, but Uvogan probably wins. Netero versus all the hunters. Netero. Way too fast. I love how Kurapika is spamming hacks in the manga, but people say he can't use them against the verse. Okay, Mr. I don't know. I'm gonna ask you something. How fast is Judgment Chain? I want to know, how fast is Judgment Chain? Armored Gorilla versus Uvogan. Armored Gorilla scales to Genos. Small or large town level. Not that fast since he had to use it to hide in. Okay. Do you know? Mr. I don't know. Here's the next thing. Is Judgment Chain as fast as Chain Jail? Act like Judgment Chain doesn't exist. Judgment Chain doesn't have any speed scaling. Look, chat. Why would Kurapika create Chain Jail if he can just use Judgment Chain at the same level? It doesn't make sense. I think it's pretty obvious that Chain Jail is his best ability offensively. Besides Morel and Zeno, who else Kurapika might struggle against? I think he loses to Hisoka. I think he could lose to Leo, depending on Dolphin Chain. How fast is Dolphin Chain? Like, why are we assuming Dolphin Chain is just as good as Chain Jail? Why are we assuming that? Where is this assumption based in? I can't quantify how fast Dolphin Chain is, but he's used it in combat. Okay, who'd he use it on, though? Do you even know the name of the guy he used it on? The guy he used it on has no feats. Can Hisoka beat Godspeed Killua? He can outlast him. All right, chat. We are going to wrap it up now. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. I will probably go live again next week. Apparently, someone stole one of my videos, and I want to react to it on stream. So, thank you all for tuning in. I hope you all have a great rest of your day.